Hey guys, how's it going? Malagant here. Thanks for joining. We're going to be talking about Wolcen a little bit. They just recently came up with this post, which is including a beta teaser and their like roadmap in 2018. I will also would like to discuss, and I'm really looking forward to your answers when it comes to like this game. And there's a lot of like these like early access games in Steam. No matter like if you're hyped about or you don't give a shit, it doesn't necessarily matter. They're going through a really long period of like development. So did Wolcen. I just checked out like when did it release on Steam, when did I purchase it. It was on the day that I actually purchased it. It was the release day, so it's like 24th of March. And if you go to like Wolcen over here as well on the store page, it says the release is 24th of March, in fact, so 2016. So right now it's been more than 2 years and it's still on pre-alpha, or alpha if you would like to call it. And most of the things you cannot even like understand. Like, my point of view is that when you play the game that is being sold right now, you don't need necessarily even understand what they're trying to do with some of the concepts. You can kind of understand what sort of like character customization they're going to be offering you, that's for sure. And you can sort of understand that the game is going to be most likely beautiful when it is done. The game is going to be really impressive when it's coming down to like their graphics and their animations and like how impactful it is, definitely. But at the end of the day, what are you playing? An really incomplete Act 1, which is sort of the time spazzing out, transitioning in between. You know, the abilities are not really feeling so real. And then they're not necessarily like clinging together. It's like I don't necessarily know how to explain, and the interface is not necessarily like working out so well either. So incomplete would be like the best way to put it. And what I wanted to ask you is that, like, what do you think about that kind of like progression from developers? Are you okay with like putting stuff that are like incomplete and selling it, or are you would you like to see stuff that are like, you know, how Grimdown did back in the day, was that like the amount of thing that was out on sale was basically something complete. You were able to, like, when I purchased it, you were able to get to like level 40. I think I heard the game from Kirparian, if I'm not mistaken, actually, and he made this Blade Master, and then afterwards I did the Blade Master, or maybe even in fact it was just Nightblade, I'm not even mistaken, and the maximum level was like 30, 35, but everything was clinging together and the game was there. It wasn't necessarily like, all right, you purchased it, you supported us. It's not necessarily like, here you can you know, waste your time with this kind of thing, because that is how I feel with this. But absolutely no offense, because I do know that there are like you know, definitely some fanatic backers, and there should be. That is really good for them. So that being said, let's just jump into this beta teaser and read in what they are offering, and that what they are expecting from them in 2018. Past content, future content, beta, and a nice surprise. It says there's a lot to say today. Before presenting you a huge surprise we made for you at the end of this news, I'd like to share some information. News about the next patch. We want to give you an update on developments of Wolcen, Lords of Mayhem, and how things will be going in the next months. In January this year, we shared with you the roadmap of 2018. In the roadmap, we told you that we will release the true Act 1 of the game. This is what I actually meant when it comes to, like, you know, you can just like waste your time while we are on the background, you know, working on something. So what do you think about that? Is that okay for you? We would like to clarify what the true Act 1 means. So multiplayer is coming, an entire new storyline. So what we have been seeing in the game, as I said multiple times before, not only in this video, it was not necessarily what you cannot really understand what's going on for the most part. Like, I don't think that is the game right there, you know what I mean? It's just made for what it is on Steam, it feels like, and apparently it was. Apocalyptic form, I don't know what that necessarily means. New creatures, new environments, new quests and dialogues, new NPCs, new player characters, new animations, and new armories. But also, on a more technical point of view, improved quality of assets and textures, new shaders and visual effects, whole new particle effects with improved quality. That's really promising. Huge optimization, pass on everything. That is really promising as well. That was a huge issue with this game. But to be honest with you, the last time that I played and the last time that I made these videos on Wolcen, you can check them out on my YouTube channel. It was already quite good optimized. It was really promising. The amount of progress that they made from like 2016 March when I played it the first time I bought it, And the time that I played, like last couple of weeks, maybe months even, it was really promising. This is really good. So really looking forward to like what they can even offer after that. New gameplay mechanics. Basically, we are improving the quality of everything, so it fits better in our ambition and yours. Since the entire actual environment, armors, and characters will be modified or improved to allow the final version of the game to be implemented, we have decided to focus our attention on the beta transition and no longer add content to the actual version of the game. That is really good news, because lots of if you look at the Steam reviews right here, like a lot of people were like criticizing the game because like it's not only too late already, you know, they have been waiting for a while and there's no actual thing to play, but also they were like adding this and that, but like nothing is clinging together, and at the same time they're all incomplete. You know, here is housing a little bit, or like here is dailies a little bit, here is leaderboards a little bit. None of them is working so well, you know what I mean? So this is really good to hear as well from my part, in my opinion. So this leads the next patch to be planned for the end of September. We still plan to check regularly on crashes and the game breaking bugs to apply hotfix for the most annoying ones in order to improve your game comfort on the alpha. Our community manager, Jessica, is always here to take care of you. So please keep giving us feedback and bug crash reports so we can monitor these issues. In September 2018, we will officially move into the version of 0.9 of Wolcen, Laws of Mayhem, meaning better. For this update, all characters and stashes will be wiped, and you will have a whole new game to explore. Now, personally, what I take from this is that I really do hope, like, I don't necessarily understand in September, are we just getting X1 once again? I am not really sure about that. And I think that is going to be the case. But that being said, I am okay with that. But this time I would like it to be the real X1. You know what I mean? As long as it is the real one, and as long as I understand what they are trying to do with their game, I understand how the character progression is going to be. I see the entire Act 1 and I will say like, okay, the AI is there this time. You know, AI was another thing. The artificial intelligence in this game was another thing that I was really worried about. It still is when it comes to like the boss fight, when it comes to like you know, maybe even like the regular normal zombies. Definitely really scaring me what they're, don't want to say capable of doing, but yeah, I had my doubts. So would like to see something complete, even if it's just Act 1. I'm okay with that, to be honest with you. Even if it's September, you know, we waited 2 years, might as well wait more. I don't never get me wrong on this one. I still have really high hopes about this game. I would like, to be honest with you, it kind of like makes no sense to me when someone says, all right, they failed with that, I have absolutely no hopes. I mean, yeah, even if I had absolutely no hopes, then I would rather have something completed at the end, something that is great, that I would love to play. You know, why wouldn't I like something like that? So I don't necessarily understand that point. Definitely not. So anything that I can do for this to get better, they definitely have something promising in their hands. Hopefully at some point it will. We have already been working on the content for the last months in parallel of the patch 0.5 that we applied at the end of March. So it didn't happen. Actually, we will do better than that, and we will show you the work we have done at the end of this news. Nice, cool video. What other changes are planned for the beta? Before preparing to move into beta, we had to reconsider some implementations planned during the Kickstarter. There were lots of discussion in the office around these elements, and a lot of feedback gathered to reach a final decision. However, we are confident that these choices will improve the production flow, the game flow, and the overall quality of the game, the open world. Since we hope that Wolcen is only the first chapter of a long story, it seemed important that the universe is properly introduced. Having an open world ARPG is an interesting challenge, and we are still enthusiastic about having one for Wolcen, but we will most likely keep the idea for a later title. What do you mean by title? Okay. Therefore, each act of Wolcen will have its own map with different areas in it, and the transition between the acts will be handled by teleportations, events. However, each act will be connected to a region, and we are making our best to ensure the game fluidity feels as close as possible to an open world. Also, the environment will still allow random dungeon, optional random quests, and modifiers, so you will always have downward stay on the map. So what they're saying is, even though they did sort of tell you an open world is what we're gonna have, at the end of the day, we're gonna never mind that, and we will go with like acts. But you will be able to like turn back for this quest, that quest, or like, you know, some endless dungeon and whatnot. If you would like to, you know, stay around Act 1, you will have your choice to do it. I think that's what I'm trying to understand here. Like, that's what I end up understanding here. Rotating the camera. We wanted to try the rotating camera to customize players' experience in the game. After checking our feedback, it seems that the feature is not used by a lot of players and even considered quite confusing and disorienting. Are you kidding me? Don't do this. Everyone in Grimdawn loves this. Developing the game with a rotating camera forces us to make the view perfectly polished on 360, which adds a substantial amount of work for a feature barely used. To us, it means that the time spent taking into consideration the rotating camera could be used as well on more interesting features for the community. All these elements confronted us in the idea to put this feature aside and make the camera viewpoint more popular. This makes me quite sad. I do like the rotating camera, but even from like my videos from like Grimdawn, people have been telling me, why are you rotating the camera all the time? So I do understand, like, they're not necessarily like bullshitting, you know, when it comes to like people saying it's not necessarily popular or like it's not disorienting. It actually is. I think some people don't really like not only rotating the camera around in an ARPG, but also watching someone that's playing the ARPG and rotating it all the time. There will still be some cool camera effects though, and the game, please no camera shake. And the game will be even more beautiful because we'll have a full control on what you see, and you play your character, but you will no longer have the possibility to rotate your camera. Okay. There has to be some sacrifices to be made to hit the calendar, apparently, with the schedule. This is a fair concern. Will the game be completed? What is going on? How did we get to this question right now? This is a fair concern. We have seen a lot in the latest reviews of the game, and we want to inform you on how things are going now. Once again, I'll just show you. Perhaps you remember us from a year ago. We introduced a team in a small office in April 21st, 2017. Now we're April 26th, 2018. This is the Wolcen studio. Yeah, there's substantially more people. I see. All right. So they're taking it seriously. Yes, the game will be finished and released. The Wolcen team is growing for you. Most of all, thanks to you and your awesome support since the Kickstarter campaign. Let me assure you that we are all dedicated to making this great game flourish. Later, I'll show you around the studio and introduce all these new faces you don't know yet. But for now, as promised, I'll let you take a sneak peek at what's been done by the Wolcen team these last few months. Guys, I definitely suggest you to come to this. You can find this link in the description below. You could just like type it in your browser, and I'll be linking both this link and the video down below in the description. I definitely suggest you to check at least the video out, because we are not going to be watching the entire thing in the video right now. And what you can expect when the game moves into beta in September, our team is very enthusiastic about this transition, and we hope you will like it despite the waiting and it represents. It's good, it's good. They're not necessarily like, in my opinion, this is a really, really promising post. I really like this. Thank you all for your support now and always. So, yeah, maybe check the video out, but I would like to show you at least the ending of the video. It's really interesting. That's pretty hype. That's pretty hype. Not gonna lie. That's really, really hype. Obviously, it's almost impossible to not like what you see when you see something like this. I'm guessing this is something like an Archon ability in Diablo 3. If I have to like guess, it is some sort of like a big cooldown that you maybe can reduce from this and that. looks like that. I really doubt your character is going to be staying like this in demon form forever. It looks definitely really cool, really cool. And that being said, that shows us a lot when it comes to like the game style. So the game style is not going to be, it is going to be like massive clearance, it feels like, right? Like from transition, like Path of Exile has this. Lots of masses, but you just don't give a shit about them. You just like clean your screen, move to the next screen, clean your screen. It looked to me a little bit like that. So Grim Dawn is not necessarily like that. It's a little bit more laid back. It's a little bit more paying more attention to the monster type, right? So I'm guessing that's what they want to do. A little bit more like Path of Exile or like Diablo 3, I should say. That is quite fast nowadays as well if you progress through a season. Yeah, this is not necessarily something that I want to talk about because it's just a video, it's just a teaser, you know, it's not even like something that's a set. I don't even think they're even like content on what it is in their hands, and it will most likely be changing depending on like what and how they want to implement this. But that being said, back to the discussion at the start of this, I'll be trying to like close this video down. I would like to know, what do you think about this game? I would like to know, how did you hear about this game? The first time that I heard about Wolcen was on my stream. They said Wolcen is launching tomorrow. It's an early access game. I was streaming Grim Dawn, and lots of people were like, "Are you gonna check it out, Malagant?" I said, "Yeah, of course we can check it out on stream." So that's how I heard about it. Was as we checked out at the start of the video. It was 24th of March, 2016. So what was your journey? When did you hear about it? Are you still hopeful about it? Like, are you still open-minded about it? Are you, maybe even hating on it? Or are you, backing it up fully? Do you think what we heard here, especially when it comes to like, all right, the rotating camera, we're dumping it because, I think it is taking too much time for us to like take care of like everything around what you see. We are never minding the open world. So they are like more strict to what they want, and they want to progress fast into their game. It also means not only they're dedicated, but also they're taking the feedback that they're slow. So that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, but that might be a bad thing for you. So let me know in the comments section below. What do you think? I would really like to. I'm really curious about what you guys think about Wolcen. Are we going to be having a really, really good game? Are we going to be having those clickbait titles in YouTube finally coming and paying off? The Diablo killer, the Path of Exile killer. That's another discussion, to be honest with you. I don't necessarily understand why people are so obsessed about killing other games with new titles. I love every single game that I play. It's insane. They're like coming to my stream and saying, "Yo, man, are you done with this game? Yo, man, I'm not done with that game. I fucking love that game. New content? Give me the new content. I'll play that game again." Anyways, this is another subject. So I'll be closing it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this style of a video. You can also give me feedback on that one too. If you would like to see more of this, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'll be seeing you next time. Peace out.